What a wonderful day. We got a nor'easter going on here where I'm at in Connecticut. We got a lot of snow. Lots and lots of snow. We got a whole bunch of snow. We got snow, and then we got more snow coming on top of the snow. Lots of snow. Having a glorious time. Um, we've just let some people join us here. We're getting the word out. We're live and in person, and having a glorious time this morning. Uh, Feeling good. I slept well. Had a good time. Have a something to discuss with you, my good friends. Thank you all for the kind words, kind messages, everybody. You guys are awesome. Yeah, that's my cat. This is Catty Wampus right here. That's who we got here joining us this morning. That's my standing work table right there. In case you're wondering, that's when when I'm working and I want to stand up. That's my standing desk. So that's why that's what's going on behind me there. I like to get up on my feet when I'm doing stuff. I don't want to sit in a chair all day if I don't need to. So that's what we're doing. So anyway, I brought this up yesterday. Last night I went live on a couple platforms. Tell you guys about what's something's going on. I've posted it on Facebook, but I have this. There's a video. Let me see if I can find it. Puya. His name is Puya. He has a new album out, and he. Let me see if I can get this here. Anyway, he's got a song called "Death." Death gotta be easy because life is hard. And Puya, of course, he's well known within that genre of music, and which is rap, hip hop. He's been around for a few years, as I'm kind of coming to understand. Anyway, he sampled one of my videos in this song right here. Okay, that's the part that he sampled from me, just so you heard that. And I'm flattered. Don't get me wrong, I am flattered beyond belief that I've been sampled for this. It's pretty cool. I'll admit. Um, my only concern is that it was done without my permission or knowledge. A fan found the song and sent it to me, and again, I'm not. It's weird. I'm not upset. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to complain about this. I'm honored. I just wish that I could have been included in what was going on. That's all. I've reached out to him, sent some messages, said, "Hey," because what's been happening to me is people will sample my videos in their music. They'll sample my stuff, and then they'll copyright their song. And what ends up happening is that they get a copyright ownership of my videos, and then I have to fight them for the rights to my own videos, because then if they get the rights to my videos, then anything that would come of them in the future is there. They basically steal my videos, steal my intellectual property. And so I'm kind of caught in this thing, because I want to support other artists, and I appreciate being utilized in that respect, and I'm honored. But at the same time, I got to protect my own interest, and I hate feeling this way. I hate being this guy. Because I reach out to him and say, "Look, just let's talk. I just want to know what your intentions are for at this point, right? That's it. I just don't want to lose what I have. I don't want to have what I have taken from me, because it keeps happening to me. And I'm not making a whole lot of money off any of this. So just so you know, I mean, we're not talking, millions. We're talking like $40 maybe. So it's not a big deal. But if it goes big, then that basically taking from me, and I'm getting nothing for it. There's no compensation. They just take it, and if they get there first, they win. It kind of thing. It's weird. And again, I don't have bad blood. It's a weird position, because when you start just creating things, you're just doing, you're having fun. You just want to get yourself out there. You want to build your following, all that kind of stuff. You want to do that stuff, and then when somebody takes your work, who's bigger than you are, I mean, he's more established than I am. He's got more followers than I have. Use my work, and then I don't get anything for it. And then and then when I say, hey, he's even reposted my video, the original video. He's reposted it in certain places as him owning the original audio of my video. So it's a weird thing that's taking place, and the reason I have to react to it is because I've seen that it keeps happening to me, and it's usually done by somebody who's not well established, and they're using me to get more attention. Puya doesn't need my attention. They don't need my following. They already have a bigger following than I have. See what I mean? So it's a weird thing. So I don't know. I wish so one of those things in life, I don't know. Just it's a weird thing, and so that's where I'm at with it. I'm not mad. I'm not in any way, shape, or form upset. But at the same time, I got to protect my own interests. So I just wish they would communicate with me. I've got no communication with them at all. So it's a bizarre thing. So here's my thing. If you're out there and you want to use, like, I've had people paint and do pictures. They create art of me, and I love it. Again, I love it. But the vast majority of people who will use my work in some way, they acknowledge me and they give me credit, and that's all I'm asking for. Just throw this dog a bone. I mean, that's all I'm asking, man. I'm not. That's all I'm asking. Just show me a little kindness. It's a weird thing. But anyway, so I mentioned that. I played the song. It's out there. Yeah, it's called Puya. Death Gotta Be Easy. They've got an album called Gator. It sounds pretty good. I like it. They're very talented, and I'm honored. So there it is. I I've said what I'm going to say about that. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. Today's beverage is hibiscus tea with Manuka honey. Just so you know, just because I'm trying to throw out the coat my throat with a little bit of honey. And the hibiscus tea is, of course, good for your metabolism and such. Oh, gee. I need to do something about that cough. I need to go see something. Anyway. What else? Oh, so we got nor'easter going on. We got a lot of snow dropping right now. So I'm not going anywhere today. So I'm here at the house. And we're having a good time. I've moved back. I was over in my blue screen studio area the last few days, but I think I moved back here just because it's a more comfortable chair. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, I understand. I was saying, John David. Okay, so here's the deal. In regards to Booyah, people have been giving me legal advice as to what to do. Now I've had to protect myself because I have to. I had one video, the one You're Nothing Special video, which was my second video that went viral, right? It's been used by a lot of people and been sampled and by a bunch of people. And somebody has claimed it. So now I can't use that video on TikTok. They keep removing the audio because somebody else has gotten the rights to the audio on TikTok. And I can't find them. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what the song is. I don't know who they are. TikTok won't tell me. And so I can't post that video on TikTok. It's my second one of my biggest videos. I can't put it anywhere on TikTok. And it's frustrating. You know what I mean? Because I want to share the magnificence of my work with the people. But I can't. And I don't even know who the person is that has stole the rights on TikTok. I've got the rights everywhere else. Nobody else has taken it down, but TikTok has. So I have to protect myself. And I had an issue with somebody on YouTube was taking my videos and reposting them as theirs. And they were getting massive views out of them. But they were also tagging them, using them to make fun of people with Alzheimer's and that kind of stuff. And that's not what my character's about. It's not anywhere near. It's just making fun of my drunk grandfather and giving me advice. That's what the character is. It has nothing to do with anybody's mental disabilities or issues or and none of that. That was not the intent. But he was posting the videos, using them to make fun of people with Alzheimer's. And I reached out to him and said, please take these videos down. Don't use it in that way. He told me basically to go fly a kite. So I did a copyright violation on that dude and got all of the videos taken down. And he actually got copyrighted violations from YouTube. And all I asked him to do, I didn't mind him using my videos. And I mean, he was getting my face out there and everything was just great. I don't mind. But when he was using it to mock and ridicule people, I was just like, I'm not, people already accused me of that anyway. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to let you go and do that when I'm telling people that's not what this character is about. And then that guy's going out and telling people that's what it's for. And it was rather annoying. So it's you guys don't want to hear about this. This is the stuff you have to deal with. It's and I don't have any resource. It's not like I've got money to go fight all this. I don't have lawyers. I don't have money to hire lawyers to do this for me. I have to kind of figure this stuff out on my own, and a lot of it they make it so difficult and confusing. Just trying to find anybody to talk to at TikTok has been a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever had anything to do with anybody on TikTok when it comes to it's like they favor people. They protect people who steal material. That's probably my biggest problem with TikTok is that they make it easy for people to steal your material, and including themselves. I mean, the money you get from TikTok is pathetic. It's rather frustrating dealing with them. So, but anyway, so you might be sitting there going, "Well, Rodney, what can I do to support you?" Oh, well, thank you for asking. Because today's broadcast is sponsored by me, Rodney Norman. That's right. The Rodney Norman Show is being brought to you by the Rodney Norman Show. Because I ain't got no sponsors. I ain't got nothing. I got me. I got me. We came out with this new shirt. These are all made by Tressa, by the way. My darling wife. She makes I've got a Teespring account. I started making shirts and putting them through Teespring. But because people wanted merch, and I make like 14 cents per shirt or something on Teespring. I mean, it's like, hey, what this isn't good. And so Tressa figured out how to make shirts herself. So she went and bought all the equipment and learned how to use everything. And so she made every shirt that we sell is made by my darling wife. And occasionally I help. Very, very occasionally. Very anyway. So we got this. We still got hats. We still got the Rodney Norman hat available right there. It's a snapback. So adjust to fit any head. So we got those. As you can see, this is have a super awesome day, and of course my cartoonish logo. That's drawn by my son Joshua, by the way. That character right there, that cartoon there, that's my son Joshua's work. So that's that. But anyway, what was I saying? But yeah, Tressa is amazing. Tressa is. I gotta tell. Let me tell you about my wife. Let me tell you about how awesome she is. She's the reason I got into stand-up comedy. I really don't think I would have ever just made the plunge and done it because I was 28 before I got on stage to do stand-up, and pretty much you're past your prime if you're getting into stand up at that late in the game. You're pretty much you've missed your opportunity. It's that ship's already sailed. You know what I mean? That boat's left the dock a long time ago. But she had always been very encouraging to me to do stand up, and I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to get into. I've done improv, I've done theater, I've done movies, I've done all that kind of stuff. And I'd wanted to be on like Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. That was a big dream, and all that kind of stuff. And when we got married, I was just going to live my life, work, take care of the family, pay the bills, just live my life. I wouldn't say I'd given up on my dream because I was still auditioning and pursuing acting, but I knew that it was an uphill battle, especially when you have a wife and kids and you're not living in LA. I mean, it could be a tough road to hoe, so to speak. And anyway, she kept wanting me to do stand up. She kept saying you should do stand up. You don't have to worry about auditioning. You don't have to worry about, I mean, you're in control of your own destiny. Basically, you need to stand up. And I didn't know how to get into it. I had no idea how to get into stand up comedy. No clue. And so I started looking into it, and she took me to my first live comedy show. And we were living in Jacksonville, North Carolina at the time, and there was a club called Schwanix, and they would have comedy there like once a month. So we went to a comedy show at this club, and I watched it, and I was like, these guys were pretty funny, but I was like, you know what, I could do this. I really think I could do this, and it still took me a while until I finally got on stage. A couple years, life had taken us to. We'd ended up moving to just outside Kansas City, and while we were there, I got hurt at my job. I had a little business doing handyman work, and my finger was cut one day, and I had to go to the hospital and get the tip of my finger sewed back on. While I'm sitting there getting it sewed back on, I'm thinking, this is not what I wanted to do with my life. This isn't what I wanted to be doing. And so I basically gave my business to a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do stand-up comedy. I had no idea how to start. I didn't know where to go, but I was like, I'm going to become a comedian. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to figure this out. So I started looking into it. Figured out, okay, you got to do open mics. You got to write some jokes, and you got to get in front of people and go from there. So that's what I started doing. So I found an open mic at a club called Stanford and Sons in Kansas City, Missouri, and it was a Monday night. We had a friend came with us, and so we had the three of us. We had to pay $10 each. We had to pay a 2-drink minimum, and it was like $7 for a Sprite. And so, and because I was the only guy there who was going up for the first time, I was the first. I was a greenie. They made me go last. And so I sat through the whole show, and you're just getting more nervous and nervous as the night's going on. But at the same time, I was also watching other comics going, okay, I think my jokes are better than this guy. I think I'm going to be okay, And then finally, I get up there, told my jokes, got a couple of laughs, and I was hooked. This is it. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. This is it. And so I just went full on, and I just started doing it. And when you do comedy, you have to put in a lot of effort. You have to keep getting up on stage. You have to go, drive hours to hopefully get a couple minutes on a show. I mean, you commit to it, and you put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, because the only way you get better as a comic is by getting on stage and doing it. And just doing it, just getting up there and doing it and doing it. And so I said, a lot of commitment, a lot of time, you're spending a lot of money, driving around, you're going into strange and weird places to hopefully get to do a few jokes for a bunch of people who most of them didn't even know comedy was going on. So it's great. And she has been 100%. She has never, in all these years that I've been doing comedy, she's never once complained about me being gone. She's never complained about me doing shows. She has just been 100% behind. So whatever commitment I needed to put to it, she was there to support me through the whole thing. and that is has been invaluable to me. That is really the key to my success is her support. So whatever you're doing in life, whatever it is, surround yourself with people who believe you're in you and are supporting uh, what you're doing. Is so important because I've seen a lot of people who get into comedy and they don't have that support. It's their dream and their spouse or their whatever um, thinks of it that they're running away from them or so. I don't know what happens, but it's a strange thing that I've seen a lot of relationships fall apart because they're doing comedy. But for me, I've had her there beside me this whole way, and like I said, she runs the website, she runs the fan group. She's taken over a lot of the booking. People want us to come and do shows. She usually is the one who negotiates the whole deal. I do as well, but she's really kind of spearheading the whole thing. And we're trying to get out there more. We want to do more shows. We really love doing them. There's really nothing like it. But that's been the key. So I love talking about her. I love her getting attention. I love um, I just love her. I love sharing the spotlight with her. I really do. And she's just occasionally we do these lives together, and I love it when we do it. And but she's usually off having to deal with other things. So anyway, so that's when you see these all the merchandise. It's all her. She's the one. Here's like I said, she creates all this. This is a fun one that we have. Yeah, I mentioned this because a lot of the social media platforms are changing, and they're making it so that you basically well, it's funny because they make it sound like you're going to make more money, but then when you really get into the details of what it is, they find ways to make it more difficult for you to make more money, but they pretend that you're making more money, but you're not. So it's a little bit of frustration, a little bit unless you get really big. Um, I'm kind of in that little weird space where the only way to make money is sponsorship deals and stuff, and I don't have any of that stuff. So I've tried to find something that would make sense, but most of the people that contact me, they don't really know who I am or what I do. They just see the numbers that I have, and so then they want to take advantage of that. But then they want me to sell something that makes absolutely no sense for me to be selling it or being a part of it. So I just don't. You know what I mean? I don't want to just sell things to be selling things. If I'm going to put my name behind something, I want it to be something that's worthwhile. And I haven't found anything yet. And then, of course, people will send you free stuff thinking that you're going to, if you just mention it, that somehow that's going to blow them up. But that never works. Anytime eh, it's a weird thing. If you ever want to get into the social media game, it's not what you think it is. It's like I said, you got to deal with a lot of weirdness. So I've sort of just taken this position of I'm just gonna not worry about that stuff anymore because you think about it because it's like okay because you want to keep doing this, you want to keep making videos, you want to keep plugging along and getting your name out there, and you want to do all that stuff, and then when you get kind of wrapped up in it too much, you kind of lose focus, and I don't want to lose focus as to what my ultimate goal and purpose of all this is, and that is to make people feel good about themselves and make life a little bit easier because there's so much negativity going on and there's so much just so much garbage out there, and I don't want to participate in that stuff. I really don't. I just want to I want to make people's lives a little bit better. You know. Well, this is enough about me. Let's talk about simulation. If you've heard this idea that we're living in the Matrix, you might be asking yourself, how are we living in the Matrix? And if we are living in a Matrix, what does that mean to me? Um, well, ultimately, what does it mean to you? Nothing. I mean, knowing that we live in a Matrix doesn't really change anything unless there's a way to get out of the Matrix. And if there's no way to get out of the Matrix, then this is the reality that we have, and you just have to deal with this reality, right? I mean, people talk about we're living in a simulation, we're living in the Matrix. Well, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything. Make it seem like, oh, you can break out of the Matrix. What? There's What are you talking about? Getting out of the Matrix? You're gonna unplug and wake up in a dark room somewhere? What are you talking about? Getting out of the Matrix? And so then they get this idea that you somehow you float into this other astral plane, or I don't. It makes no sense. It's a lot of gobbledygook. It's a lot of stuff that makes people sound more intelligent than they really are. When people start throwing this garbage out there, because nobody explains where the Matrix came from, or who designed the Matrix, or why it's even important. It's a really kind of silly thing. Now, do I think we move on to something else beyond this? Yes, I do. But there's a purpose for us being here. If this is a matrix, somebody created this matrix. This was designed for us to come here and have this experience. And so our desire to get out of it is kind of self-defeating. I mean, if we're here for a purpose, well then what is it? What is it that we're supposed to be getting out of it? Well, I don't know. I don't know. What are you getting out of it? What are you gaining from being here? That's the question. What are you gaining from all of this? What are you learning from all of this? Because that would be the ultimate reason. I mean, why do you play video games? To be entertained. But in order to be entertained, to win that game, you have to learn the rules of that game. You have to learn what the point of the game is. You're on a mission. You're there to accomplish certain tasks. That's the point of those kinds of games. But our simulation that we're in, what's the point of this? Is it to just gather stuff, just have a bunch of stuff, and then but I don't know. It's a strange thing. But most of the time when you hear people talk about we're in the Matrix and you need to get out of the Matrix, then they tell you the way to get out of the Matrix is get into affiliate marketing or start selling essential oils. That's usually what ends up happening. That's what I've noticed. Anybody who starts harping to you that you're living in the Matrix and you need to get out of the Matrix, blah, 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 and then you got to start manifesting a downline to sell peppermint oil to unsuspecting strangers. That's usually what it ends up turning into, and it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly. It's like, oh, I have deep dark secrets. I'm going to help you get out of the Matrix. Oh, really? How? Take cold showers and become an affiliate marketer for on eBay. A lot of it's nonsense. A lot of this self-help guru garbage, and I call it garbage because a lot of it's just nonsense. You know how to accomplish things. You do. You already know how to accomplish things. You know that you can literally accomplish anything you want to if you're willing to put in the effort. The question is, are you willing to put in the effort? So whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life. Sorry. Because you go to these, you start following these people, and they start telling you all these amazing things and how to break free, blah blah blah. If you want, yeah, cold showers do help. That's my, I agree. I take cold showers myself. I follow. I do a lot of this stuff. I'm I try to take care of my health. Um, and it's good advice, but they have to find a way. Here's the thing: is everybody that's giving you information, um, the when they talk about the Matrix and all this sort of stuff, there's some place that they're taking you with that knowledge, like by giving you this knowledge, there's more knowledge. So they'll create this. It's kind of what happened with religion is. Um, how do the best way to explain this? Okay, so with religion, what was going on was most people couldn't read, so people didn't have access to the Bible. And so what the church said was, look, this stuff, this religion stuff, it's really mysterious. And they would give explanations of God that made no sense. And the reason they would say this is because they wanted you to be confused. They wanted to make it difficult for you to understand. That way you wouldn't try to understand it. And then they would say, look, we understand it. So if you just do what we tell you to do, then we'll help you get to heaven. We'll take care of all the hard work. You just do what we tell you to do, and we're going to get you there. And so they make it mysterious. They make it difficult for you to comprehend and understand because most of it's just nonsense is what it is. But to make it seem like it's brilliant and deep, and that you're just not smart enough to understand it, that way you give your power and control over to them. And this was the game that was played with religion for a long time. And now here we come to the modern age, to our current situation, and that same thing is being used, but now it's they're coming with all these things of alternative universes and the Matrix and all this stuff, and it makes it sound like it's deep and it's like amazing, but at the same time it's mysterious. But they present it like they have some deep understanding of this, and that they're going to show you how to get a deeper understanding of all this. And all you got to do is buy their book and go on their retreats, and then you spend thousands of dollars sitting around meditating, contemplating the sound of nothingness. And then when it comes right down to it, the only thing you really gained is it gave you something creative to do for a weekend. I mean, it really, a lot of it is just garbage. It's just you still have you pay for all these seminars, buy all these books. You read and you read and you read, and then when you're all done, what do they say? Well, find it within yourself. Well, yeah, you already knew this. 90% of the stuff that they have to share with you, that they want to tell you, is stuff you already know, and you've known it for a really long time. You've known it your entire life. You knew it when you were a kid, but then they beat it out of you with the nonsense of the educational system. and got you to stop believing in that stuff, because they're like, oh no, you don't understand. It's too hard for you to understand. It's too difficult for you to understand. And we're here to guide you. And they have this special knowledge. Uh, by the way, stop at the gift shop on your way out. And this is part of the game that I'm annoyed by, because it's crazy that we've fallen, but we keep having the same thing. So they always have something more to sell you. So it's always like, oh, well, if you buy this program, it's going to lead to this program, and then that program is going to help you with this problem and then this problem, and then you're going to be able to go to this program, and it's this constantly selling you more and more crap, more and more stuff, and it's basically they're just teaching you. You're paying them thousands of dollars for them to tell you things you already know, and then they're just regurgitating the same stuff. They're just putting a different packaging to it and convincing you that they've discovered something new through research or something, and it's the same. It's the same. So you want to know how to be successful? You write a plan. You say, okay, what do I want to achieve? You write that down. How do I get there? You make that plan and you start following through. And as you go along, things change. You learn more information. You find a better way to do it. And then you just keep going and you keep pursuing it. That's it. That's the secret to the whole thing. There. It just saved you thousands and thousands of dollars. Find whatever it is you want to get into. You can start researching it and finding it. There you go. That's it. The answers are easy. That's the thing, is that we have this self discipline. The self discipline is really what kicks in. So the question is, do you have the wherewithal to just keep pursuing it? And we think that the thing that is keeping us from doing it is that we have that one thing that we don't know. And then if I spend $5,000 and go on a retreat and walk on fire, that all of a sudden I'm going to come back from that weekend and all my problems are solved, and I'm going to be master of my universe, and everything's going to happen for me. Everything's going to be great. No, you're going to learn that you participate in an illusion. It's really crazy, really, really, really crazy. But no, if you really want to be successful in your life, you already know what you need to do. But for whatever reason, you're not doing it. Whether you don't have a belief in yourself, whatever it is, you have limiting beliefs, or you have your doubts. You've been told that that somehow other people have more knowledge of you, they're smarter than you, and they're better than you, or they're more gifted than you. You hear these things, and that other people are going to sell you something that's going to make up the difference. Don't waste your money on that nonsense. Don't waste your money on that nonsense. You already know within yourself what it's going to take for you to be successful. You already know deep in your heart what you're capable of doing. You just got to fully commit to yourself and believe in yourself and just do it. Just start doing it. Just work a plan and start doing it. And people always say, you're oversimplifying it. Yes, you should oversimplify it because it's simple. The answers are easy. The execution is the problem. The execution. That's where people fail. And that's where people take advantage of other people, is by convincing them that they're going to help them overcome that. And when it comes right down to it, it's all you. It's all about you. It's all about you making that commitment and following through on it. That's it. There, it just saved you thousands of dollars, my friends. Now you know all of the self-help. That's why I would really like to get in to speaking and telling people, because my message is, look, I'm not going to tell you anything different. I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to give you, maybe I'm going to help you look at things differently. But that's it. I don't have any magical mystery. I don't have magic potions. I don't have a magic wand. I don't have secret cheat codes for life. All that weirdness. Um, you just come up with a plan and you execute. And you know this. You already know this. There's something you want in your life. Write it down. Don't just keep it in your head. Write it down so you can see it. You can read it. You're letting your whole subconscious know, hey, this is our plan. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. And if that doesn't work, we're going to change the plan because that's what you do. Sometimes you start going someplace and there's a detour. But you just got to do it. Got to get out there and you got to do it. Anyway, so let's take some questions. Let's look here. What's going on here? But yeah, we create. Here's the thing: you have more freedom than you're willing to admit. We like to place ourselves in boxes for some reason. We like to limit ourselves for some reason. And there's no reason for it. You get out there. You can just challenge yourself and say, think of the craziest thing that you want to achieve in your life. The most ridiculously out of the question you could ever achieve. Just think of it, whatever it is, and just decide, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it anyway. Now you may succeed. You might actually do it, which would be amazing. But and I see people that do this for comedy all the time. They decide they want to become a comedian, and they finally make the commitment, as I have done. They've gotten on stage, they've told jokes, they've embarrassed themselves, they did horribly, but they thought, you know what, you're going to keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and sometimes they hit it big and they take off and they become a big deal. Other times they don't. I know a lot of people who've been in comedy for a really long time, very funny, very talented people that for whatever reason never got the big break, never got the big thing. But you know what they do have? They have something that they love to do and they get to do it. That's the thing. They have something that they love to do. Whether they become rich and famous out of it or not, doesn't matter. They're doing what they want to do and they're happier. It's bringing them joy to get on stage and do it. And I've seen people work through a lot of issues personally because they've done that. They've made the commitment, they've done it. And I've seen people who have started businesses and failed miserably. But while they were doing it, they were having a great time. And sure, it was a setback. But you know what happens? They learned. So the next time they decide to start a business, they have an enormous amount of understanding of how to what not to do. And then they'll go on and they'll become successful at that. There's this guy. We just went a group from church last night. Our men's group from church decided to go and support. There's a guy at church who lost his job several months ago. Got fired, and he's been on his business let him go, and so he got unemployment. He's basically laid off, and so he'd been on his unemployment and trying to decide what to do with himself, and he just decided that he wanted to own a pizza shop. He's not a cook. I mean, he was in computers before this, but he'd always wanted to have a restaurant. And so he figured it out. He found a place that was for sale, an already established business. and he worked it out and he bought the place. He worked there for free for 3 months, learning the business, um, learning the recipes and learning everything. And so he learned the business, and he took it over on Super Bowl Sunday of all days, and now he has this restaurant. And so we, as a church group, went to support our brother in faith, and so it was about, I think, about 12 of us that came up, and it's not a really big place, so we filled the place up. So I went there and we had pizza and enjoyed each other's company. We talked about, kind of caught up on everybody's lives, and had a great time just sitting there chatting. But it was cool talking to him as he was telling us about doing. You could see him just light up, and it was it was a risk. It was a gamble. Um, but he decided that it was something he wanted to do, and he followed through on it, and he put it all together, and he has this restaurant. It's in Agawam, Massachusetts, called Gino's Pizza, and I was thrilled for him. It was just really cool to go there and hear his story, and he's telling us about his family's, his whole family's involved, and um, it was pretty cool. I mean, I've seen this guy. I've never really talked to him at church. I've seen him at church, and he's got two little boys that are just really cool. So they sat behind us a couple times at church, and so I knew them. I mean, we talked, but it was just just verbal pleasantries. We didn't really talk. So last time was the first time I really talked to it, and it was just it was a delight. But it was so cool seeing a guy just pursuing his passion. Yes, the pizza was great, by the way. It's interesting because it's a different. The crust is more like a bread than a real pizza crust. It's like a bread, and it was different, but it was really good. I really appreciate. I enjoyed the pizza. So, but we talked about just asking why did you decide to do it, and how. And he just kind of went through the whole thing, and the commitment that he made for it, and how it's been going, and the business is doing really well. I was really excited for him. It was fun. So, and that's the other part of this whole thing. We get so wrapped up in ourselves, we get so wrapped up in what we're doing in our life, that we forget that part of what you can do is help other people pursue their dreams. I mean, every business that you see is somebody's dream. Somebody's committed themselves and committed their life to doing whatever it is that they're doing. When you drive by a little antique shop, that guy who's running that antique shop, he's committed his life to selling antiques. He spends all of his time looking for antiques, finding out their price, putting a store together, and sharing, not just for the money, but it's something that they just love. They love taking the past and sharing it with the future generations. And there's amazing stories in there. Every business you see, every artist that you see, there's a story behind there. And instead of just being worried about or looking at the stuff, one thing I like to do when I go, especially antique shops, if you go into an antique shop and you find the owner, start asking them, how long have you been doing this? Or any business you go into, find out who the owner is and say, how'd you get into this business? What have you learned? I mean, if you want to learn, there's something that you want to do, say you want to open your own pizza place, right? Go find a pizza place and find the owner and say, hey, what did it take for you to get where you're at? And they will love to sit down and tell you. They really will. People love to tell their story. So ask their story. They say, I would like to take an hour or so and chat with you about your life. You know, find an artist, find a musician. Musicians are fascinating people, um, because a lot of them have made commitments, uh, and put in out. It takes hours and hours and hours to become a musician. To be able to get to the point that you have the confidence to get in front of a group of people and play an instrument, um, that's a lot of commitment. And often, you know, you go into a place and you'll see a band playing, and you just don't even think about it. It's just, you know, they're just background noise or whatever. But it's fun to go and sit and just, if you ever just take the opportunity, just sit and listen to a band and listen to the arrangements that they'll come up with when they're doing a cover song. A lot of it's pretty amazing. A lot of them are very creative. They're very creative people. They have amazing backstories, and it's fun to just sit and chat with them. Um, it really, there's so many fascinating people in this world doing fascinating things. You want to get out of your own bubble, you want to get out of your own head, go out and find other people. And, you know, if you don't know what you're passionate about, if you don't know what it is you want to do with your life, go and talk to other people about their passions and about what they're doing. Um, and see what it is that drives them to do what they're doing. And you're going to open yourself up to so many different things. There's so many opportunities out there if you're willing to just open yourself up to them. So that's this guy. I'm just a regular guy, and I'm reaching out to the leadership of the Ford Motor Company. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, there's a guy. Maybe it's him? There's a guy on TikTok who bought an old. Um, he bought an old auto manufacturing facility, and he's decided he's going to start his own car company. And pretty fascinating watching his videos. He goes through and the stuff that's left over in the building, and all the different things that he's doing, and he's doing a lot of really cool, fun stuff. But he's starting his own car company. It's crazy. I mean, it's an insane idea, but he's putting himself out there and he's doing it, and it's. Oh, I gotta find his name. He's uh where is that? I need to prepare better when I do these things. I'll find the thing. Maybe I'll interview the guy because he's doing. Look him up. He's bought a place in Detroit, and he's putting the building, and he's starting his own car company. It's pretty amazing. It's fascinating, and it's cool. It's fun to see people doing just fun, creative things, putting their life out there, because we're only here for a very short period of time. I mean, think about that. Your average human lifespan is what, 80 years, maybe 80 years in the grand scheme of things. Not a whole lot of time. We don't have time to sit around. Uh, we sit around worrying about things that never happen. We spend our life just trying to get by, and there's no reason for it. We should be enjoying ourselves. Find other people who want to do the same things you do and get together and do stuff. That's the thing that I think is fun about musicians and bands, is that it's a group of people who have a passion and a love for something, and they get together and start doing it together. It's a pretty incredible thing. That's when you find bands, they either love each other and will go to the end of the earth for each other, or they hate each other's guts, because the same sort of passion is involved, and it's fascinating. That's why I love talking to musicians. I love talking to artists. It's fun to meet people who are great at what they do and getting to see their passion. And people who are just as talented as anyone else you're ever going to meet, and they're just getting by. They're just like you and me. They're just trying to just get by. Um, it's fun. Just see people just doing it for the fun of it. Doing it for the fun of it. Yes, find your tribe. That's the thing. Find your tribe. And I feel like I found my tribe. You guys are my tribe. And I love and appreciate all of you, man. This has been a lot of fun, especially this getting together every day for a bit has been a lot of fun. And I apologize. I should probably put more effort into this. I should probably organize and plan a little bit better when I do these things. Um, but I do want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for your support. Why suffer if there's no reason? There's no. Like I said, if you want to change your, people are not. I've said this before. You're not disappointed with life. You're disappointed with the life that you've been living. You can change that. You can change the life that you're living. You can get a new life. You can do something different. And often it's just making that commitment and say, well, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want my life to be? And you make a commitment to do that and start asking questions. What is it you want to do? I don't know. I want to do this. Okay, find people who are doing that and call them and say, hey, can I talk to you? I would love to ask you some questions about what you do and how you do it. You're going to find people who don't care and won't help, but vast majority of people I have found love to share their messages with people, love to talk to people, love to answer questions, love to tell you their story. People love to tell you their story. Just love it. Sorry, I'm eating an orange. I hope you don't mind, because it's I've stopped eating drinking regular juices. I love orange juice, but it's basically, once they take all the fiber out of it, it's just basically sugar water. But if you eat an orange, um, it's still got all the fiber, then the sugar is metabolizes differently in your body. And the moisture gets into your blood system more effectively than if you just drink water. I don't know if you knew that, but if you feel dehydrated, eat fruit. Well, anyway, I got to go dig out of the snow. We have a whole bunch of snow. I got some new stuff I'm working on, and hope that you're feeling good about life today, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I'll be taking more comments, questions. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments and questions, and I love you guys. I really do. I hope whoever you are, whatever you're doing out there, I hope that you take the opportunity today to just say, you know what? If you're not happy with your life, you're not pleased with the way your life is going. I hope that you take some time today and say, okay, well, and this is I ask people, so if all your problems were resolved, what would that look like? What was the answer to all your problems? What would fix all your problems? And it's kind of funny because some people become so addicted to their uh, uh, to the difficulties in their life that they don't want to give them up. It becomes their identity becomes wrapped around their victimhood, about being whatever that might be. And it's like they don't want to solve their problem because if they solve the problem, then they won't know what to do with themselves. It seems kind of silly, but it's true. So it's like, what are you holding on to? Why are you holding on to it? So I hope today, if you don't know what to do with your life, if you're bored with life, as I said, I don't think people are really mad at the life; they're just bored. So if you want to make changes in your life, just simply sit down and say, what am I displeased with, and what do I want to change? And then when you accept the idea that you have control over your reality, you'll start to change your reality. You'll start to manifest a new reality. And part of manifesting is action on your part. But you have to have a plan. You have to decide what is it that you want to create with your life. And you really think of your life as a piece of art. If you're going to draw a picture, if you're going to paint something, some artists just start painting and just see what happens. That's one way to do it. Most artists have in their mind what they want to accomplish before they start painting. And so they come up with a plan how they want to execute it. Well, that's the same way with everything else. With your life is a piece of is artwork. So decide, okay, well, what do I want it to look like at the end? And it may actually work out and be exactly what you planned. But often it turns into something even better than what you planned, you know? But you have to have a vision of what you want to accomplish. Write that down. Don't think about it. Don't keep it in your heart. Write it down. The bigger, the better, the crazier. Just go for it. Go for it. And if you don't know what to do with yourself, you don't know what you want to do, find somebody that you're a good friend with that's got a dream that they're pursuing and say, what can I do to help you? Borrow their passion. Help them build their passion. You'll find a lot of joy in doing that. One thing I have found, especially as comics, comedians, we are kind of we have this weird competition that goes amongst us because we're always trying to figure out: are they funnier than me? Am I funnier than them? It's a very competitive thing, and it's kind of silly because there's no reason for it. There's plenty of you cannot be the only comedian out there. There's so many shows going on all the time. Every day there's a comedy show going on somewhere, and you can't do all of them. Right? And instead of competing with other comedians, comics, what we should be doing is wanting to make comedy better for everybody. Because if comedy is something that people want and desire and will pay to come and see, we all benefit from it. So I want every comedian to be really, really funny. I want every comedy show to be really, really great, so that people will go, "Hey, I love comedy. It's a fun, wonderful experience to have." Right? Um, so you need to stop thinking of it as a competition. And so, and I see this trend on social media with comics is that we'll have somebody who's finding some success, and we get into this weird thing where we don't want to support their success because we don't want them to be more successful than we are. And so ignore their posts, unfollow them or whatever, because I don't want to support them in any way. You don't hate them, you just don't want them to be. It's a silly I know it sounds silly, and it because it is. And understanding that, um, I go out of my way to support other comics, to promote their shows, promote other comedians, promote other artists. I love doing it. I love sharing their jokes so that they get some attention. Um, uh, it's fun. It's fun for me to introduce people to uh, new comedians, and like one in particular I'm thinking of is Jerry Wayne Longmire. I met this guy when I lived in Texas, and comedian, and I knew back then he was a treasure. I mean, very funny fellow, and it's been really cool to see him as of late. Really, he's been stepping up his game and making a lot of creative videos and getting his name out there, and he's really growing on social media, and as a comedian as well. So he's a great comic, and it's so fun to see him blowing up. And another guy, Jimmy Cash. He's a janitor, and he's been killing it on social media as well. And he's doing incredibly well all over the Northeast. He's booked for all kinds of big stuff. And it's a lot of fun seeing him blow up, and I love sharing his stuff and telling people about him. Pat Oates, it's cool to see Pat doing really well with his podcast and everything. It's just fun watching other comedians. Andre Kim, I remember Andre when he first started doing comedy. He used to call me and ask for advice dealing with situations he was in, and he's blown up and he's doing really well. He's in every club in New York. I mean, I love seeing other comics succeed, because I don't think of it. Alex Voluto, a friend of mine from Utah, he's really blowing up, doing well. Shane Smith, I knew him when he first started, and he was on the first. He blew up because of the first season of Dry Bar, and he's got enormous success, and he's in about every comic club in the country. It's really fun to watch my friends do well and have success, and I don't uh, I don't want to have feelings of jealousy. I want to have feelings of joy seeing them succeed. I enjoy seeing my friends succeed. I enjoy watching people blowing up in the best way for great reasons, because they're talented, they're funny. Because I've seen so many people who are deserving who haven't had those opportunities. And so it's cool when I see it happen to others. It's fun. It's fun to see it. It's fun to be a part of it. It's fun to support it. Um, when you think of life that way, when you look at other people that you want them to succeed, you want them to be happy, you want to see them in the best way find happiness and success. Man, it changes the way you approach everything. It changes, uh, just changes everything. When if you stop looking at it as a competition, when you stop thinking at me, and you start looking at it as um, you're supporting other people's dreams, you're helping yourself as well. You know what I mean? And but you gotta get outside of your own head, and you've got to think, how do you help other people? How do you, if you can't decide what to do with yourself, you can't decide what you should be doing yourself, you know what you can do to help other people. And it could be just a simple thing. You just take a moment of your time, find one of their videos, and post it and say, hey, this guy's really funny. You should follow this guy. Or if you see a band hey, I just found this band on Spotify. I'd never heard of them before. They got great music. You should listen to this. Look at this picture this guy drew. Look at this picture this artist took a photograph of. Whatever it is, find things that you like and love and appreciate and share them with the world. It doesn't have to be your work. That you, and just sharing it with other people, sharing other people's magnificence with the world. You're exposing people to something that they may not have been have ever experienced before, and you're supporting somebody and supporting them in their dream. And when you have that attitude, you have that gratitude and that the belief in other people, and you want to support them and support their dreams. Um, it gives you a purpose, it gives you a focus, gives you something to be happy about other than beside yourself. Um, I, Case in point, let me see this. I grew up in Utah, and we did not have a professional football team, right? But I love football. I love football. I was just passionate. It was my one of my first and earliest loves in life was football, American football. And I loved to sit and watch the games with my dad. And we would I knew all the players on every team. I loved every team. And I had certain teams. I didn't have just one team. I had several teams that I liked. I just loved the game of football. And even when I disliked the team, I still had certain players that I liked on the team, even though um, I never really bought into this one team for life. I know people are to do that, and whatever. I just love the game of football. I watch the XFL. I'll watch the USFL. I watch the European League. There's a Mexican football league. Japan has an American football league. I'll watch those games. I also love rugby. I'll watch rugby. I don't have to know the teams. I'll just say I just enjoy the game. I enjoy watching people play the game. I enjoy it. I just love it because I love it. You know, so I don't feel like and my happiness is not wrapped up in whether or not one team wins or loses. I just love the game. I just love everything about the game. It's just something I've enjoyed since I was a kid, and I enjoy car racing. I've always been into car racing, short track racing, um, NASCAR, Formula One, Indy. I mean, especially when I was a kid. When I was younger, I followed it, all of them, all the time. And now I get to see even more of it if you really want to. I love going to short tracks and just, I don't know any of the drivers. I don't know any of them. I don't have a personal connection with anybody there. But my connection is with the sport. I love the sport. I love it, and I love being involved. I love to see people also being involved. It's great. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And you don't have to be so wrapped up in yourself that it's all about you. When you give up your ego and you just enjoy the moment, enjoy the world around you, man, your life just opens up and things are just awesome. Life could be awesome. Life needs to be awesome. You're awesome. Go do awesome things. Go share your life and your loves and your passions with other people. Just do it. Just do it. Find people who are doing things that you enjoy and share them with other people and say, hey, this dude's crazy. This dude's nuts. And he's fun. You should go check him out. You know? So much out there. There's so much out there that we give a lot of attention to people who are really ultra famous. You get like The Rock and um, Tom Cruise. Whenever they post everything, the millions and millions of followers and um, all of that stuff. Big names, they get all the attention. But they don't need your help. They don't need your help. They're getting all the attention they could ever need. You don't need to give them any more attention. But you know who needs the attention? It's your local community theater. They could use your support. They're right now there. You got micro celebrities, as I like to call, um, that you could support in your life, and you'll find so much joy in doing that. Find local bands, find local artists, find people locally who are doing amazing things, and go and support them for it. Go find a local comedy show in the middle in a bar on a Tuesday night, and just show up and support the show. And tell people, hey, I'm going to the Hungry Tiger bar in Manchester on Tuesday night and watch a bunch of people I don't know tell jokes. Want to come with me? Sure, let's go do it. Get outside yourself. Get off your phone and get out there. Go find some local theater. Go find some local artists and support them. You're gonna bring so much joy to yourself. And look, there's nothing cooler than watching somebody that you followed and supported hit the big time. Like I said, I when I see my friends, guys who open for me, guys, I remember hearing Shane Smith tell me a story about the first time he headlined. He had to go drive to Rock Springs to do a show there, and he was supposed to do an hour as a headliner, and he had maybe 30 minutes maybe of material. So his stomach is in knots, and he's just nervous as all get out about going and doing the show, and he was just basically just going out of his mind, worried about this show. And then he gets there and he does a show, and it's great. He's funny because but it was funny hearing the stories about knowing those stories, and now to see him where he's just absolutely destroying every club he goes into. I mean, he's killing it. He's very funny. But it's fun getting to knowing them when they first start, and then watching their progress. Jimmy Cash. I remember the first time I saw Jimmy Cash, he had a bad set. I'll be honest with you. It didn't go that well. I mean, it was okay, but I could tell in that moment that there was something about this guy. I was like, this guy's funny. And when he figures it out, he's going to be killing it. And I remember telling him that. I said, dude, you are funny. Please stay with it. You when you get this figured out, when you figure yourself out, you're gonna blow up. And he did. And he did. He's killing it right now. He's very funny, very talented, and it's fun. It's fun. So that's what I'm telling you. Go out and find these artists that are struggling, they're starting, and go out and support them. Get to know. You can go and personally get to know them and be a part of their journey as they grow. Being in support of them, and then when you see them hit the big time, it's cool. It's really cool. It's there's so many great musicians that I've met over the years that it's been fun getting to know them and seeing them progress, and seeing them doing bigger and bigger venues, and selling more and more records, and it brings you a lot of joy to support somebody and support them in their dream and watch them grow. More so than just, too often we have this attitude that if it's not on the radio, it's not real music. And it's really kind of ridiculous that we fall into that trap, because, man, there's so much great stuff out there. So much great stuff out there. So do it. Go follow my friend Jerry Wayne Longmire. I'll get the name of the guy in Detroit. That guy that's doing his own thing. I need to interview that guy. He's really funny. Oh, this is Mac Hardy. He sent me some money. Hey, cool. Thank you, Mac Hardy. I'm also, Rodney, a comedy director, writer for a long time. In 2011, we created Merc the Comms. Perhaps you would understand the concept. Still online. You have a wonderful attitude. Comedy is giving. Yeah, that's cool. I'll check it out. Created Merc the Comms. I'll go check that out. Um, but so do it. Support local artists. It like I said, if you don't know what to do with yourself, and I hear this all the time. People just I don't know what to do. I don't have a passion for anything. Well, then, like I said, go be a part of somebody else's dream. Just find somebody that you like what they're doing and just share their stuff and tell people their story. You know, um, make a video and say, "Hey, I follow this person. I found this music by this guy, Cliff Dorsey. He's really talented. I've talked about Cliff before. He's really doing well. Great voice, great artist. Um, check him out. His name's Cliff Dorsey. I saw him. I've told the story before, but I was in Orlando doing some shows, and while I was there, I flew in and I didn't have a car. So, but where we were at, right, kind of downtownish area, I guess. Um, everything I needed was in walking distance of the hotel, including this bar that he was performing at. And so I'm just wandering around looking for a place for lunch. I saw this place. I heard music. It sounded pretty good, and I thought I'll just go in there and hang out. So I go in there and sit down. Got some lunch and sat there and watched Cliff play. Um, and he was really great. Did a lot of cover songs and cover tunes, and then he did his own music, all of which I found fascinating. The guy was just a very talented young man, and it was pretty cool. And I wanted to talk to him afterwards, but he was swamped with a lot of fans and stuff, and I didn't want to. I was like, hey. What I didn't know was that he knew who I was. And so afterwards, um, I found him on social media and liked his stuff and sent him a message on there, and he sent one back. So we chat every once in a while, but it's been really fun since that moment a couple years ago, watching his progress. Watching him being in Nashville and doing shows all over Florida and just getting bigger and bigger, and it's been a lot of fun watching his progress. Also, Crystal Bowersox. My heart goes out to Crystal because her son is having some medical conditions. He's been in and out of the hospital lately, and she's done follow-up videos and stuff where she's been talking about his struggle, and but she's an absolutely delightful human being, and it's been really fun watching her journey. We've got to go see her live. Me and Tressa went and saw her perform up here in Massachusetts a few months ago, and she's a great performance live. Even though she wasn't feeling her best that night, she still gave it 100% and did a great job. It's fun. I'm telling you, don't spend all your money on these big artists that don't need your money. They don't need it. Taylor Swift doesn't need you to buy another concert ticket to go see Taylor. I mean, go find a local artist who's just as talented, just as amazing, and will give you a great show. And you get to know them, you get to meet them, you get to hear their story. It's just so cool. There's just so many opportunities out there. Right in your hometown, right where you live, right within hours of minutes of where you live, there is somebody who is deserving of your attention. Whether it's a business or it's a musician or an antique shop, it's out there. They're out there. There are people who are living their dreams, and man, just say you want to get outside of yourself and think about life a little differently. Go and talk to somebody else about their passion. You're gonna find a whole lot of joy, a whole lot more happiness when you get outside yourself. Oh yeah, there's this is Fairy Godmama. I lived in Vegas. Talent Storehouse. Yes, there is. There's a lot of amazing people, talent in Vegas. It's like, why waste your time going to because that's so true. I spent a lot of time in Vegas trying to help start a comedy club there, and there is so much talent in Vegas that there's no reason for you to go and hang out in the casinos and go watch the big acts. You don't need to waste your time. There's so much incredible talent all over that valley that are there trying to, get noticed. Go out and notice them. Go out and find them. I hope that if you take anything from today, it's go find somebody else's dream and support their dream, because you don't have to give up yours in doing that. I mean, a lot of times the simple things you can do to support another artist, really simple things, like I said, especially now, social media, sharing their videos, go and subscribe to their channel on YouTube and leave some comments, following them on TikTok, Facebook, and just sharing their message with other people. Do a little testimonial. Say, hey, this young lady's very funny, very talented. And that the other thing is finding. I would say finding people who are talented because they're talented, not just because they're good looking. That helps. But there's a lot of really talented ugly people out there. I'm one of them. I have a beard to cover it up. So the pretty ones don't need your support. They're going to do fine with that. Go find an ugly artist. give them some love. That's a great message to share with the world. All right, anyway. Anyway. What's this? Stimulation? I thought it was stimulation. That was the worst news. That's funny. Welcome to the stimulation. That's funny. Thank you. What's this one? Say, gotta check out Tucker Bethard, also in Nashville. So much raw talent, one man band at times, inspirational storyteller. Okay, so there we are, everybody. Let's do this. Let's all go find Tucker Bethard. Tucker, Tucker, Tucker Bethard, Beathard. He's in Nashville. He's an artist in Nashville. Very talented, one man band at times, and an inspirational storyteller. So it's all. Everybody, go check this guy out. Go put it in your search engine, Tucker Bethard, and let's show this guy some love. Let's start doing this. Let's start supporting some great stuff. And that's what I'll start doing. I'm gonna have an artist. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna have my artist of the day. When I do this podcast, when I do this live, every day I'm going to feature a new artist and you're going to talk about them. And so if you have somebody, or if you are an artist and you want me to talk about you, maybe I'll interview you. Um, let's do it. Let's start supporting some local artists, people. Let's do this. Let's make this part of who we are, and what we do is we support other people and their loves, their desires, and their passions. So you don't have to just be an artist. You don't have to just be a comedian or a musician. If you have something you're really passionate, in fact, the crazier and the weirder your passion is, the better. Like maybe you make artisanal goat cheese. Do you make artisanal goat cheese or soap? Contact me. Send me your stuff. Let me know what you do, and I want to talk to you. I want to support you in your dreams. I want to help tell your story. Um, so get a hold of me, and we're going to tell your story. So we're going to start. We're going to start with Tucker Bethard. Recommendation of What the Fluff. A viewer from YouTube who's sharing with us. Let's do that. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's spread some love, my friends. Spread some love. Spread some magic today. You want to bring love and magic into your life? Spread some love and magic to the world. Spread some love and magic to the world, my friends. So, all right. Sorry, my ear itch. Okay, wait. That's today. I got to go dig out from the snow. And today's push-up push-up day. I do push-ups every other day. And I'm currently up to now I share this with you because I'm trying to hold myself accountable. At one point in my life, I was doing 1,000 push-ups every day. And then I got up to, I think my personal record for one day's push-ups was about 3,000 in one day. That was many years ago. I've gotten out of practice of doing the push-ups, and I need to get back into doing my push-ups. And so I started doing that a couple days ago. I did 700 push-ups. And I was going to try to do more, but I was like, I don't want to hurt myself, because I did it a few years ago. I started doing push-ups again after not doing them for a long time. And my first day, I hurt myself and couldn't do push-ups for 6 months because I just overexerted myself, because I do that from time to time. I get a little too excited and hurt myself. So now I'm trying to take it easy. So I've been building up. So it wasn't just like out of nowhere I did 700 push-ups. I've been building up to it, but I'm trying to build myself back up to doing 1,000 push-ups a day. I'm taking my time so I don't hurt myself again. But I got today's push-up day. I got to do push-ups, so I'm sharing with you so that I'll hold myself accountable. So you'll pay. So tomorrow when I show up, you say, Did you do your push-ups, Rodney? And I want to be able to say, yes, I did. So that's it. So hold me to the fire, people. Hold me to the fire. Hold yourself to the fire. Get outside yourself. Go check out Jimmy Cash. Check out Jerry Wayne Longmire. I'm going to find the guy on TikTok that's starting his own auto company. I want to go in there. I want to go to the guy's place and check it out and interview him. I'm going to start doing that. Give me an excuse to come and hang out at your place, people. I'll come and hang out with you, and we'll tell your story. I want to tell your story. The most push-ups I've ever done at one time without stopping was, I think it was 187. I could go 187 push-ups without stopping. Um, so, in case you're knowing, I'm not bragging. I'm just I said it's only bragging if you can't support it. I did it. Now I'm going to build back up to that. I think the most I can do right now is about just over 50 without stopping. So, but I'm getting there. I'm going to get back up there. Just try to take better care of myself. Um, yeah, there's other way. Yeah, I know. I do other weight training as well. So don't I just enjoy doing push-ups. The world record for push-ups in one day is like 10,215 or something like that. I don't know that I would ever do that. I don't know if he took breaks or not. So anyway, hey, you guys have been a lot of fun. I'm gonna hang out and chat with people here over on and take your questions on TikTok. So hang on there, you guys. Instagram, I'll be back on tonight to talk. Everybody's. I'll probably. Well, I might go live again tonight just because of the snowstorm. I can't go anywhere, and so I'm stuck here. So maybe I'll go back live tonight with everybody just to say hi and give you an update on things. So I'm gonna go check out Tucker Bethard. There was another band that somebody had sent me that I need to check out too. So if you have recommendations of artists that you love to support, let me know about them. I want to check them out too. And thank you. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate, love all of you. Have a magnificent day. And just know that somebody out there loves and supports you. And that somebody is me. All righty. Have a beautiful, magnificent day.